The morning sun filtered through my kitchen window as I sipped my coffee, watching my orange tabby, Mr. Whiskers, lounging in his favorite spot on the back porch. Life in Willowbrook Estates had been peaceful for the 3 years I've lived here, my work as a corporate consultant allowing me to work from home in this quiet suburban paradise. That peace shattered the moment Karen Henderson moved in as the new HOA president. Within her first week, she'd already sent out 17 new rule amendments, each more ridiculous than the last. No wind chimes after 6 p.m. Grass height must be exactly 2.5 inches. Mailbox posts must be painted in approved shade number 47 beige. But today, as I watched Mr. Whiskers stretch lazily in the morning light, I had no idea that my beloved cat would become the center of the most insane HOA battle our neighborhood had ever seen. It started with a knock at my door. Not a friendly neighbor knock, but 3 sharp raps that somehow conveyed irritation. I opened the door to find Karen standing there, clipboard in hand, her perfectly styled blonde bob not moving despite the breeze. She wore a blazer in 80-degree weather, because of course she did. "I'm here about your cat situation," she announced, pushing her oversized sunglasses up her nose. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this wild Karen story so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Karen Eat World for more incredible tales of entitled people getting exactly what they deserve. Trust me, you won't want to miss how this one ends. Now, let's get back to Karen and her ridiculous complaint about my cat. "What cat situation?" I asked, genuinely confused. Mr. Whiskers was an indoor cat who occasionally enjoyed supervised time on my enclosed back porch. "Your cat," she said, consulting her clipboard with theatrical importance, "was observed sitting in your window yesterday for approximately 4 hours. According to HOA Bylaw 17-3 subsection C, which I recently implemented, pets visible from the street for more than 2 hours constitute a visual disturbance. You'll need to keep your curtains closed or relocate the cat." I stared at her, waiting for the punchline that never came. "You're joking," I said. "My cat was sleeping in my own window? The rules are very clear," Karen replied, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "Pets must not create visual distractions for passing residents. I myself was distracted yesterday while doing my daily compliance walk. Your cat's orange fur clashes with the approved neighborhood color palette." She handed me an official violation notice. "First warning. 3 violations and we'll have to take action." Over the next 2 weeks, the violations piled up faster than Mr. Whiskers could knock toys under the couch. Cat seen in window for 2 hours and 3 minutes. Cat toy visible on porch. Cat tree too close to window, creating an, quote, unapproved architectural element, end quote. I tried reasoning with her. I attended the HOA meeting, where Karen sat at the head of the table like she was running the United Nations. "This is harassment," I said calmly. "My cat existing in my home is not a violation of anything reasonable." Karen smiled that fake smile I was growing to despise. "If you can't comply with simple neighborhood standards, perhaps Willowbrook Estates isn't the right fit for you. We have standards here. We're not some trashy neighborhood where people just let their animals run wild." Mr. Whiskers had literally never been outside my property. "He's an indoor cat," I protested. "Yet he's constantly visible," Karen countered. "Just this morning, I saw him sitting on your cat tree. The orange clashes terribly with the neighborhood aesthetic. I've had 3 complaints." "From who?" I asked. "That's confidential," she replied smoothly. I knew she was lying. I'd talked to my neighbors. Tom and Betty next door loved seeing Mr. Whiskers in the window. Betty even bought him treats. The Johnsons across the street had 2 cats of their own. Nobody had complained except Karen. But she had the power of the HOA behind her, and she was wielding it like a weapon. The situation escalated when I came home from a business trip to find a $40 fine taped to my door. The violation? Cat observed stretching in window, creating inappropriate display. That's when I decided to do some research. You see, my consulting work had given me some interesting connections over the years, including my former colleague James, who happened to be a real estate attorney specializing in HOA law. "Send me everything," James said when I called him. "Every notice, every fine, every ridiculous rule she's created." As I compiled the documents, I discovered something interesting. Karen had been selectively enforcing these pet visibility rules. The Andersons' dog was constantly in their front window. The Chins had a parrot clearly visible from the street. Yet only I was receiving violations. "That's discrimination," James said after reviewing everything. "But here's what's more interesting. I pulled the property records for your HOA. Did you know that the common area behind your house, that little park area, isn't actually owned by the HOA?" I sat up straighter. "What do you mean?" "I mean," James said, and I could hear the smile in his voice, "that 3-acre plot is owned by the city, but it's been up for sale for 2 years. The city's been trying to offload it. The HOA assumes they control it because they maintain it, but they've never actually purchased it." A plan began forming in my mind. "James, hypothetically, if someone were to purchase that land, what could they do with it?" "Hypothetically?" He chuckled. "They could do whatever they wanted, within city zoning laws. It's zoned mixed use. You could put a business there, rental property, pretty much anything. Even something that might be considered visually disruptive?" I asked. "Especially that," he confirmed. The next morning, Karen was at my door again. "Final warning," she announced triumphantly. "Your cat was seen lounging in the window for 3 hours and 17 minutes yesterday. That's your 3rd violation. At the next HOA meeting, we'll be voting on forcing you to rehome your pet or face escalating fines of $200 per day." She looked so pleased with herself, so utterly convinced of her victory. "Karen," I said calmly, "have you ever heard of a cat café?" She blinked. "What?" "Never mind," I said, taking the violation notice. "I'll see you at the meeting." She strutted away, probably already planning her victory speech. What she didn't know was that I had already made a call to the city. The 3 acres behind our neighborhood? I'd put in an offer that morning. $300,000 cash, closing in 10 days. It was a significant chunk of my savings, but sometimes justice requires investment. I also called my friend David, who ran a successful cat rescue organization in the next county. "David, how would you like to open a satellite facility? I have the perfect location." The HOA meeting was scheduled for 2 weeks out. By then, I'd be the proud owner of 3 acres of prime real estate directly behind Karen's house. The city was thrilled to unload the property. They'd been paying maintenance costs for years with no benefit. My offer was approved in record time. The day before the HOA meeting, construction vehicles arrived at the property behind our neighborhood. Karen, of course, came storming over immediately. "What is this?" she demanded. "You can't do construction without HOA approval." "Actually," I said, holding up my property deed, "I can. This is an HOA property. I bought it from the city. I'm opening a business." "What kind of business?" Her face was already turning red. "Whiskers Haven," I said proudly. "It's going to be a combination cat rescue, adoption center, and cat cafe. We'll also offer a sanctuary for cats whose owners travel frequently." The color drained from her face. "You can't be serious. How many cats are we talking about?" "Oh, probably 50 or 60 to start," I said casually. "But we're approved for up to 200. The city was very supportive. They even fast-tracked my permits, when they heard about the community service aspect. We'll be taking in strays, offering low-cost spay and neuter services, the whole works. This is insane, Karen sputtered. You can't put a cat facility right behind residential property. Actually, I checked the zoning laws very carefully, I said. Mixed-use commercial. Completely legal. Oh, and the best part? Since it's not HOA property, none of your rules apply. The cats can be as visible as they want. We're even planning a catio, like a patio for cats. It'll run along the entire property line. Floor-to-ceiling chain link so the cats are safe, but completely visible. We're thinking of painting it orange, actually. Bright orange. For visibility and safety, you understand. Karen's mouth opened and closed like a fish. I'll sue. This is clearly targeted harassment. Harassment? I said innocently. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm opening a legitimate business that happens to involve cats. Just like you were legitimately enforcing HOA rules about pet visibility. Speaking of which, from your back windows, you'll have a direct view of probably 40 to 50 cats at any given time. All completely legal. All completely visible. All day. Every day. The noise, she stammered. Cats are actually very quiet animals, I said. But we will have to announce our adoption events over the loudspeaker. City ordinance allows amplified sound for businesses between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. Oh, and we're planning to be open 7 days a week. Karen's clipboard slipped from her fingers. You did this because of Mr. Whiskers. Because of my complaints? I have no idea what you're talking about, I said. I've always dreamed of opening a cat rescue. The timing is purely coincidental. I'll make your life hell, she hissed. Every single violation, every tiny infraction, I'll document it all. That's fine, I said. But you should know, I've also established a legal fund for any Willowbrook residents who feel they've been unfairly targeted by HOA enforcement. Pro bono representation. James, my attorney, is very interested in the pattern of selective enforcement here, particularly around pet visibility rules. The HOA meeting the next night was one for the history books. Karen tried desperately to rally the board against me, but when I announced that Whiskers Haven would be offering free community programs, including senior citizen cat therapy visits and children's reading programs where kids read to shelter cats, the other board members actually seemed interested. Plus, I added, as the owner of the adjacent property, I'll be installing a beautiful new fence between the rescue and the neighborhood. At my own expense, of course. It'll increase everyone's property values. Karen sat there, her face cycling through every shade of red imaginable. You can't do this, she kept repeating. But I could, and I was. The meeting ended with the board voting unanimously to table any discussion of pet visibility violations indefinitely. Even Karen's closest allies could see which way the wind was blowing. Nobody wanted to antagonize the person opening a popular community resource right next door. Construction began in earnest the next week. The catio went up first, a magnificent structure that ran the entire length of the property line. True to my word, we painted the support posts bright orange. Safety orange, specifically. The kind that almost glows in sunlight. The cats loved it. Within a month, we had our first residents, 20 beautiful rescue cats lounging in their outdoor space, completely visible from every back window in Karen's house. The grand opening of Whiskers Haven was a neighborhood event. Everyone came except Karen. We had face painting for kids, a local band played, and we facilitated 6 adoptions that first day. The local news even showed up to do a feel-good story about the new rescue. It's wonderful, Betty from next door told the reporter. We've needed something like this in the community. As the reporter interviewed me, I made sure to stand where Karen's house was visible in the background. I could see her curtains twitch. But the true moment of victory came the next morning. I was sitting on my back porch with Mr. Whiskers, now completely free to lounge wherever he pleased, when I heard Karen's back door slam. She stood on her deck, staring at the 43 cats currently enjoying the morning sun in the catio. Some were playing, others were sleeping, and one particularly vocal Siamese was having a conversation with a bird. All of them were orange tabbies. Every single one. "You did this on purpose," she called over to me. "You specifically got orange cats." "They're rescue cats, Karen," I called back. "I don't choose their colors. The orange tabbies are very popular. We'll probably always have quite a few." She stood there, her hands clenched into fists, finally understanding the full scope of what had happened. She'd harassed me over one orange cat in a window. Now she had 4 dozen orange cats that would be visible from her property forever. She tried to use HOA rules to control my life, and I've responded by legally placing something completely outside her control directly in her line of sight. The best part? The rescue was already becoming beloved in the community. Any attempt to shut it down would make her a neighborhood pariah. She was stuck. Completely, legally, permanently stuck. As I watched her storm back inside, slamming her door so hard the windows rattled, Mr. Whiskers stretched and purred. From the catio, several of his new orange friends seemed to meow in agreement. Karen had learned a valuable lesson about picking battles, especially when your opponent has the resources and connections to win the war. Her mouth hung open as the full reality hit her, 43 orange faces staring at her through her back window, and she realized she'd never have another peaceful morning coffee again. Well, there you have it, folks. Another Karen who thought she could bully someone with petty HOA rules, only to discover her victim had the means and determination to serve up some perfectly legal revenge. If you enjoyed watching Karen get her comeuppance with a whole rescue full of orange cats, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Karen World. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest stories of entitled people learning the hard way that karma has claws, sometimes literally 43 sets of them. Until next time, remember, don't be a Karen.